This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, hello everyone. Very good morning to all. I think in the last session, we discussed about use reducer hook, right? So yesterday we don't have session, right? Now in this session, I want to discuss about use callback hook. This already we discussed in the classroom session actually, not in the online session. So use memo. So these two hooks we have to discuss about it right now. What is use callback? What is use memo? Both the hooks are used to optimize the performance of the application. So I don't want to call unnecessarily my component. If there is a change in the component, I want to re-render my component. If there is nothing, I don't want to re-render. The same functionality we did in the class component. So by using should component update written false means it should not re-render the component. If there is a change in the state, I think we have to compare their previous state and current state both are same. We don't want to re-render. If both are different, we have to re-render. That's we seen already in the class component. The same functionality we have to do into the functional component by using use callback and use memo. These two hooks will make a difference. So let us see how these things will make a difference here. Right. First of all, use callback hook we can go for. I told you both the hooks are for used for performance optimization. Let me do one thing. Let me quickly create some components. I will show you how can we reuse the data between the components that we can see now. 1 minute. Let me remove all these unnecessary one. Okay. So I'm going to create one component with the name parent component. The same I explained yesterday. I think somebody or classroom people are there in the session, I believe. This already we discussed there. If you want, you can continue. Otherwise, you can. Right. So RFC. This is a functional component. Right. So the parent component I want to import into this. The component just we created. This is going to be parent component. It is imported here. Perfect. So what I will do into this parent component, let me import some other components. I mean, let me create some components like a title.js, RFC. Let me add some title with a name called use callback, use callback hook simply. So let me import this into title component. This is going to be the title component, title title. Yeah. So this is imported into parent component. Okay, server is running. Perfect. So let me run the file localhost colon 3000 and you can check this. Yeah, use callback hook is displayed on the screen. So title, this is coming from a title component. The title component is imported into parent component. The parent component is inserted into root component called app.js. Okay. In the parent component, I want to add two more components. Try to observe this carefully, what I am doing. So in the parent component, let me do one more thing by using use state. First, let me go to the parent component. Here, let me set some state, state, const age comma set age. I'm taking something like this is equal to use state. Age is 25. Something I'm going to take it here. Okay. And I'm going to take one more hook, try to see how we will pass this data to different components, nothing but reusing the data. SALARY salary, comma, set salary, SALARY set salary equal to use state of some salary. I'm defining some salary. Okay, this is the salary we are having. Okay, try to see how can we pass this data from this component to other component. Definitely by using props. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me create one thing called display.js. Okay, you can take any name here, no problem. I'm taking a component with name. Oh, display is already there. Okay. Mm. What is the name of the component here? We have to reuse the component every time to pass the data. So what is the component I want to do here? Okay, let me take this as a my counter itself, my counter.js. Okay, rfce. Okay, let us create this as a rfce created, right? So what I want to do, this my counter component just now you created, I want to import here my count here. My counter is going to be come like this, my counter open, my counter close. But in the my counter component we didn't write anything, right? I'm taking one h1 tag or h3 tag, whatever you want you can take it. Okay, I'm not writing anything. So do one thing, I have to pass some data to this my component, my counter component from parent component as a props. Definitely now you can see I'm passing info equal to, I'm taking age, I'm taking something called age. So you are passing a prop called info. That prop will go to the my counter. So how can we access this? Definitely in the functional component we have to pass the parameter called props. Here we can write the same, like I'm writing props dot, you can take this as a info. We can take like this props dot info. Now you can check this, this is going to become as age. Perfect. Or else we can do one more thing. If you don't want to take like this, we can destructure the data here directly. You can take directly info. Directly we can take info. Whatever the prop you define here, info, right? The info we can take into array destructure into the place of props. Directly we can write props only. We don't want to write every time props.info, props.info, props.info. This is also a valid way of accessing the props. The native approach is we can pass the props and here we can write props.info. Now you can check this. Same is coming, right? You can write like this, or else if you cannot write like this is called destructuring data. If you can go like this, props valid. Now this time you have to write props.info, props.info, right? This is what exactly the thing. Now what I am doing, I am destructuring the props. This is called destructuring the props. We can pass directly here like this. Whatever the variables you are passing into an object, prop is an object, right? We know prop is an object that we are passing directly that object here. Okay, right. Okay, let me do one thing. I want to pass one more info. I have to send one more is equal to data equal to age. Okay, data equal to age. So what is this age here? You define age with value some 25. Now what is going to be happen? This will also transfer to my counter, right? So now in this point of time, if you have two variables, you can take data as comma separated directly. If you're not taking like just, if you can take props, you have to write props.info, props.data, something like this. Age is going to be again, so data data, that number. Now you can see age is 25. So this is in other component. Now let me do one more thing. What I want to do, I am writing the same my counter this time, same my counter, nothing difference is there. So I'm going to take info equal to, I'm taking a string like salary salary, and I'm taking data equal to salary, salary salary. Can you see now? This is printing salary and age now. So the data you are passing to my counter component is as a props, that to dynamic data. Let us assume I'm not taking anything. Okay, right. Okay, this is perfect for me. Now I want to create two buttons. I want to create a one button component. Okay, let us do one thing, not here. Let me do, I'm going to create one component with a name called button.js, rfce, right? Here I'm taking a button and button, button open, button close. I'm not taking any label. Do one thing, go to the parent component, load the button component, button, button component is loaded. Right now can we go and check this? Button is coming here. Okay, but we didn't set any label for the button. For this also I'm setting the button open, button close. For this also I didn't set the any label. Now you can check this. This is a button is there, but we didn't set any label for it. Okay, now what I will do, from here I'm going to set the button title or label, whatever you want, you can take it, no problem. Label equal to, I'm passing age. I'm taking the age. This is I'm passing. So how can we access this age in the button? Now you can check this. Now you can go here. Now you have to destructure the data. Yes, you can do it. So this is going to be label, label. What is the label of the button here? If you can check this, directly we can write label, label. Now, if you can refresh the page, can you see button title is age na? That is coming automatically. Okay, now you can go here for this also. I'm taking the same label equal to, we can pass salary. I'm taking the label as SALA or by salary. Or else let me do one thing, increment age, INCREMENT, increment age, increment salary. This is actually my intention. So increment age, increment salary. If you can refresh, can you see the buttons also coming? Right now, see, on click the button I have to increment the age, on click the button I have to increment the salary. Right, how we can increment the salary, how we can increment the age, that's what we have to check it now. Now what I'm going to do, this is perfect for me. If but where is this increment age button? This is in a button component. Actually you are going to click here, not here. You cannot do anything, you are passing data to the components. The button is available in the following. On click this button, increment salary. On click the button, increment age. If you can click age, age should be increased. If you can click salary, salary should be increased. How this knows? Now what I will do, let me create two functions here. Const increment age. You can take any function here, no problem. Function name is your choice. Right, set age, we have a method. So here we can write simply age plus 1. That is completed. Const increment salary, SALARY salary. This is going to be set SALARY, set salary. In this SALA salary plus 1. Oh, age, okay, salary, let us take this as 1,000. Okay, no problem. Right, now functions are declared in the parent component. Your button is available in button component. If I click the button here, this method should call. So I mean, how can we pass this incrementage, increment salary functions to the button component? This is the button component you created. To this component we have to pass like props only. Let me do this button. I'm going to take one prop name, handle, something like this. You can take any name, HANDLE. Handle is equal to, so I'm taking that function. And what is the function you have there? Increment age, INCREMENT, increment age. For this also, I'm taking the same handle, HAND, handling. Handle is not predefined. Let me do one thing. Handle click. Okay, I'm taking the function like this. Handle CLICK click equal to the function and increment salary. Increment salary. Perfect. So now you can check this. You are getting one more prop here. The prop is going to be handle click and handle click. You are getting from the component handle click. You have this, right? You're passing as a prop handle click. Handle click is available to button component. Now you can see on click equal to, you have to pass the handle click. That's all, and we don't want to do anything. As a prop we pass it there, and the data we're able to access here. On click equal to handle CLICK handle click, small c. Now you can check this, how this is going to be works for us. Now I'm refreshing the page. You can increment age is getting incremented. You can increment salary, salary is also getting incremented. Okay, up to here I think we don't have any problem. So we are just passing the data to the two components. We are using the data wherever you want. You can reuse like this. Okay, no problem about it. Or else you want, you can take one more thing called price. So this is going to be something like this. The same I'm going to take it again. Now try to see what I'm going to do. Price. I'm going to take one more called as price, something like this. Can you check this? This is going to be price. Okay, whatever it may be. PRIC price is the label. Price is the label, and we have to define the price also. Now, let me do one thing. You have to define price. I'm taking 500. You can take anything here, guys. Here, set price. PRIC set price. This is also going to be a price. Nothing but we are just simply reusing the data. It may be anything. So now you can write price. I'm going to do something. Increment price. Increment price. PRIC price. So price plus one. PRIC price. Okay. Now you can set the price also to the functional component. Here you can set it to price component. Okay. Sorry. Increment price. This is also going to be PRIC price. The label is going to be increment price. Button label is going to be PRIC price. Now you can see automatically third component increment price. If you can increment it, price is, oh, what happened? This is not working. So set Teja, my God, what you have to do, guys? Here set price kada. PRIC set price. So we have to call the set price only. Right now you can check this. Everything work as we expected. Price is getting incremented, salary getting incremented, as well as age also getting incremented. Perfect. Now the problem, okay, we don't want these many components. For better understanding, I'm commenting one thing here. Okay, we are reusing the data, no problem. But here I want to show you a small scenario, guys. Here, okay, do one thing. So we did three components here. One is a button component. Let me do one thing. Console.log. Console.log. I'm going to write button button space button age salary na. Okay, do one thing. Button concatenate label label label. Okay, done. Let me add one more console.log into this also. This is going to be info na. Let us take this as a info. This is what? This is a counter. COUNT here, counter info, and this is going to be the title, right? Console.log of title. So I'm going to write one statement, console.log of title component. Can you see the problem here? Okay, everything is okay. Functionality wise, we don't have any problem. Now I'm pressing F12. Can you check into the console? Press F12 here. What happened? Yeah. So I'm cleaning my console. If you can refresh the page, can you see? All the log statements are logging: title, counter age, counter salary, button increment salary. Can you see what is going to be happen here? So counter age, okay, title component is calling, and counter is calling for a age, and button component is calling for age increment. Again, counter component is calling for salary. Again, button component is calling for incrementing the salary. Okay, now the problem is here. You can see what I am doing here. Simply, I just want to make something like this. Okay, I'm clicking increment age. Age is incrementing, but age is 25 to 26 is incremented. But why again unnecessary? All these are getting called. I'm able to see all these components are getting called again. See what I incremented age. I have to call counter age and button only. Why these components are rendering unnecessary? Title is not required for me, and the title, there is nothing in the title. So why this is unnecessarily re-rendering? So this is the problem. To explain this problem, we are coming to use callback hook. So now what we need to do here, title is a component, counter is a component, and so actually these we are passing to some reusable component, right? Button is one component and counter is one component, but why they are calling multiple times? If I increment salary, now you can clean up this. I'm incrementing the salary. If you can increment the salary, again all components are re-rendering. It is not correct actually. So which one you incremented, that should be rendered. So for this, what I am going to do, try to see. Go to the code. Here, title should not be called. So there is one higher order component that is called react.memo is a component. Memo. What this will do, you can check this. I'm incrementing. First time everything will be rendered, right? Okay, title, counter age, and everything is rendered. Now if you can click on it, age title is not rendering. Can you see? Title is not rendering. Earlier title rendered. What React.memo will do? React.memo will identifies is there any change in the state of the title component. There is nothing change in the title component, so this won't re-render. The same way, I'm going for the button component. Now you can check this. I'm going to write this as a react.memo. Right, this is I'm calling here. In the same manner, you can go to the my counter. Here also, I'm writing the same react.memo. Now you can see, still we have some problem. What is that problem? How can we achieve that problem? We will see. Okay, now you can check this. This is okay. React memo added, React memo added, React memo added has an higher order component. This is called, if this type of functionality, if you can see anywhere, this look like a higher order component. So now I'm refreshing the page. Now you can see initially everything getting called. Okay, perfect. We don't have any problem. Now I'm incrementing age. Can you see age is incremented, button I also increment. But why this button salary is coming? I have clicked increment age only. So age related components only should render. Why this button increment salary is coming? Earlier, uh, counter salary came, but that is not coming, fortunately. Okay, this is okay, somewhat better, but still I have the problem in this. I'm looking problem. Earlier you can observe, previously you got four things only, but now I got only three things. I click age button, age counter is coming, that's okay. But why increment salary button is coming? Now you can do one more thing. I'm refreshing the page, everything they are coming. Now if you can go increment salary, now you can see increment age is coming, the counter salary button increment salary should come. But why increment age component also rendering? I don't want to re-render that button component here. So what we will do for this, the solution is going to be use callback. So here, first you can go here and import use callback. Use callback hook is imported. So right. This function, so in the use callback hook, let me do one thing. Try to see. You have to take use callback. Whatever the logic you written, that logic should work here only, not directly. I'm going to take something like this. Try to see. This is the use callback, comma, the dependency array. Oh, something is wrong here. Right, this is the use callback hook. So I'm setting this as a age dependency array. I mean, whatever the logic you written earlier for increment age, that is getting called automatically, right? But now you can see this use callback hook will call the function if there is a change in the state. If there is no change in the state, it won't call the use callback related. In the same manner, I have to pass this also to the particular one. So now what I am doing here, now you can check this. I'm taking use callback, use callback, use callback. In this, just you can pass the data. And you have to pass the dependency array also, Andy. Just take the dependency array is going to be salary, SALARY salary. Now you can check this as we expected. So what this will do, if salary change, then only this function will be called. If the salary earlier what happened, increment age is calling, salary is calling, but we pass a dependency array in the use callback hook. Whatever the function you have in that function we just moved to use callback, that increment age and everything we moved to use callback. Now you can check this problem will be solved like this. So use callback is not defined, see defined right on the top of the page. Use callback, use callback. Oh, here is spell mistake, user callback is there. Okay, now if we can refresh the page, now you can check this. Now you can observe the log carefully. Unnecessarily I don't want to re-render. That's my concept here. If I increment the age, only age should be rendered. If I increment the salary, only salary related stuff should be rendered. Now you can see I'm incrementing age. Can you see now you are getting only age related stuff only. Now you can go increment salary. Now you are getting only increment salary related stuff only. So this is nothing but one type of performance optimization. Only thing I don't want to re-render unnecessarily. If there is a change in the state, re-render. That is the meaning. So without changing any value in the state, why I should re-render? So to avoid the problem, we can use the hook called use callback. In the use callback hook, what is the logic you want to execute on the particular value change? So if age changes, this logic will be executed. Otherwise, this logic will never executed. If there is a change in the age state, then only this will be called. In the same manner, if there is a change in the salary, then only increment salary will be re-render. I mean, that component will be re-render. This is the concept of use callback hook. So the next thing, one more hook we are having, that is going to be use memo hook. Let us create one component here quickly so that we will have an idea. uh, let us write this as a counter 4.js. Okay, I'm creating one component. Let us go quickly. RFCE, take use state. This is also a kind of performance optimization. Use state. Okay, quickly you can write use memo also. Anyhow, we have to import it. Use memo also, I'm imported both the necessary thing. Let me define the state. Const array destructuring counter 1 comma set counter 1 equal to use state. In this use state, you can define this as 0. In the same manner, I'm going to take one more. This is also set counter to counter 2. I'm taking two variables only. This is also going to be counter 2. Perfect. So let me take two buttons also, two functions, increment counter 1, increment counter 1 const. You have to take const increment counter 1 equal to, we have to increment the counter 1. So set counter 1 in this counter 1 plus 1. In the same manner, we have to go for set counter 2. Let me do one thing. I have to create one more function called counter 2. This is going to be counter 2. This is also going to be counter 2 function. That's all. So we define two functions for this incrementing counter 1, incrementing counter 2. Logic is going to be like this. Okay. Let me go to the button here. Now I'm going to write a h1 tag or a h2 tag, whatever it may be. This is going to be counter 1. So here I'm writing counter counter 1. Okay, right. Let me add a button, butdn button, open button, close. So increment counter 1, something like this is my button. On click the button, bind the function. On click the function, I'm just binding increment counter 1. Increment counter 1 is added. In the same manner, I have to take one more h1 counter 2 counter 2. Now up to here I think you will be clear. Let me execute the file by importing into the there. So this is going to be 2, and let us have the label also 2. Perfect. Now import this counter 4 into my app.js. I'm going to make something called counter 4, countrfo. Is there any spell mistake? Contr, my god, spell mistake. Contr, counter 4, spell mistake is there, no need to worry, right? Okay, now you can check this. If you can refresh the page, we can see counter 1 increment this, that is incrementing, and this is also incrementing. Let's add a quickly one function here in the counter 4 component. I'm creating one function, const is even is a function. So this will check that is return, it has to return a value. So I'm writing counter 1 modulo division of 2 equal to 0. I mean, if the number is even, it will return true. If the number is odd, that is not going to be do something. Let me do one thing. What I want to do, just besides this, I want to call the function called is even. Is even is going to be called for every re-rendering. When you are rendering, so we know that written method will, this JSX will be called automatically. If JSX call, is even function will be called every time if there is a change in the counter one, it will verify there is an even number or odd number. Now, or else let me do one thing. I have to write one small label here. Let me do is even question mark. Let me add even, EVE and even, or something called ODD odd. I'm just adding like this. Now if you can refresh the page, now you can see there is even number. Initially we have something called even. Okay, if I increment the counter one, now you can see it is odd, 2 even, 3 odd, something like that. They're coming dynamically in a right, perfect. So what I did here, simply I'm verifying the value each and every time. So when there is a change in the state, this will be called automatically. If this call is even will be called, right? This is because is even function was in the JSX only. We know state changes, JSX will be re-rendered. If re-rendered, is even function will be called. Every time it will verify the number is even or odd. Counter one only, not for counter two. Okay. But what I want to do, let me do one small. I want to slow down my process. What is this is called? I want to slow down. I mean, let us assume when we are fetching 1,000 records from database, it may be faster. When you are fetching 2-3 lakhs of records from DB, definitely it will take a lot of time. When it is taking a lot of time, the burden should not be put on other components, other values. It has to, other values has to work freely, and which component is taking some, that has to take the time. Now for this, what I'm going to do, if okay, let me set a variable. I'm slow down the process only. Let us assume I don't have 2 lakhs records here right now. That's the reason I'm writing while I less than some number I'm taking. These many times loop should be iterated. Definitely loop will be slow down the process. And I plus plus, that's all. Now you can check this. What is going to be happen? Now you can see when we are incrementing the first one, I'm going to increment the value. Try to observe the carefully what is going to be happen. Try to see. Let it be load completely. Yeah, now you can see everything is loaded. If I click increment counter one, earlier it incremented immediately. Now you can see it is not, I clicked, oh, it take after some time it is displaying. After taking, it is taking some time after displaying. Now you can click on the same increment counter two. I'm clicking second time. Again, it is a delay for 2-3 seconds, right? It is not incrementing very fastly. Now you can check this. Now you can see, yeah. On click the increment counter one button, I'm fetching 2 lakhs star 2 cores of records, let us assume, but not on the counter two gather. So in the counter two, click the button, I'm not fetching anything. Now you can see if I click this counter two, the problem will be here. Now you can check this, it is also taking the same time. Now you can see this is incremented. I'm clicking one more time, yes, done. It is taking the same time again and again, right? So it is incrementing but taking some time. But this delay should be counter one only, not for counter two. Counter two should work independently. Why it is having some kind of time like this? If you can check this, what I will do here, the problem we can avoid by using use memo hookup. See, if I click counter one, counter one should take some delay. Why? Because let us assume on click the counter one button, I'm fetching 1 lakhs of records. Now you can see I'm clicking this, it is taking some time. Let us assume it is fetching 1 lakh of records. But why? What happened to the counter two? Counter two is not taking those many records, right? Counter two should work independently and immediately. So to do this, whatever the function you have here, this function I'm removing here, take this into use memo. Use memo is a hook. In this, you have to pass the logic as stage. Whatever the function you have there, copy the function, and you have to pass the dependency. What is the dependency you have to pass? Counter one. This logic, this is even function should work only if there is a change in the counter one, not for the counter two. Now you can see you added, right? Now I'm refreshing the page. Now you can check this is even is not a function. Oh, sorry. This is now a value. This is written a value. So it is not a parenthesis is not required right now. And you can remove this. And I'm going to refresh the page. I think it will be works for you. Can you check this? So refresh the page. Yeah, it is working. Now you can see When I am clicking counter 2, we don't have any problem. Now you can see it is getting incrementing very fastly. But earlier what happened? It is making some delay. It is making some delay. Now I define use memo. If counter 1 changes, then only this value should be called. If counter 1 is not changes, I'm changing counter 2, right? So that's why there is even is not calling. Now if you can click on counter 1, now you can see is even will be called. Is even calling, it slow down my process. Now you can see. Now, yeah, it is done now. I'm clicking n more time. Now it is done now. Now, if you can click this counter 2, it has to work fastly and immediately. So it should not take such a kind of time like this, right? Exactly, guys. This is what exactly the concept of doing something, guys. I mean, this is also the only situation. Remember, I'm trying to fetch 1 lakh records or 2 lakhs records or 2 crores of records from DB. Definitely it will slow down the process. I click the button to load the data. I have to do my other work, right? Yes, I can do my other work. Once data got loaded, we can do some job. This is use memo hooker. Both hooks are used for performance optimization, right? So in next session, what we will do, we will talk about a use ref hook. One more hook is there. Finally, we will discuss about this use ref hook. After this hook completed, we can discuss about custom hooks. This we can talk about tomorrow, custom hooks. Okay, right. Thank you guys then. So any doubts you have, let me know and we can continue tomorrow.
This conference will now be recorded.